Good afternoon, Metropolitan YMCA of the Oranges. It's Matt Lifschultz here, your summer camp director from Fairview Lake YMCA camps, and I'm here today to do a grounding exercise using the 5 senses. So this exercise uses our sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell to help us relax, calm down, work through anxiety and tension. It allows us to focus and to bring about some calming moments. So I have found a beautiful spot in our woods, just behind our Wickapec Lodge. For those of you who are familiar, I'm kind of in between our swamp and our woodpile. And this very peaceful spot I have picked for a very good reason, and I'll get to that at the end. So the first thing we want to do in our grounding exercise is to start with things that we can see. So as I look around, I can see a lot of different things that exist in nature. One thing that I can see, and is a little bit, it's out of your sight right now, is our birding shelter. So I'm going to show you that. See right down there. And that birding shelter we utilize for birding. So if you wanted to come out here and have a birding trip, you could do that. We also, other things that I can see right now are some gnats. So though it is a little bit of a cooler day, we do have some gnats that are flying around. They are enjoying the spring afternoon, but since it's cooling, they're starting to go away. Other things that I can see, and you can see behind me, are some trees. More specifically, we have some pine trees that are behind me, as well as some birch trees that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And then we also have rocky New Jersey terrain. So there are lots of rocks throughout our area. When the Wisconsin Glacier came through, it carved out the Ridge and Valley section of New Jersey that we're located in. So we often see rocks and boulders on the surface. New Jersey is definitely known, especially northwestern New Jersey, is definitely known as being one of the rockier areas on the East Coast. So the next step that I want to take is I want to think and reflect on 4 things that I can feel. So right now, you can probably hear it, but I can feel it, is the cool spring breeze. So as our sun starts to set, I can really feel the cooling nature. It was a bit of a warmer day earlier, but now it's kind of cooled down. So I'm enjoying that cool breeze. Other things that I can feel around me are the leaves that are right next to me. I'm actually sitting in a nice big pile of leaves here. So I've got lots of leaves that have wonderful textures, very crunchy, also helpful in our sounds. Something else that I can feel is the sticks and tree rubbish that has fallen. So I have lots of different sticks that I can feel. Again, very tactile, a great sensation in your hand. And then finally, something that I can feel is the fabric of my clothing. So something that everybody should always have it when you're out in the woods is some clothing. So I can feel that pretty well. So now what I want to do is I want to move on to things that I can hear. And there is a lot to hear, though we often think of the woods as being a quiet place. There is lots happening around us at all times. So a little before this, I could hear some spring peepers, which are frogs. Spring peepers definitely get their names as being one of the first amphibians that we hear in the area. They like to peep, and they're especially found in some moist areas. So I'm going to be quiet for a second and see if we can hear it. We can hear a couple peeping off to my left over here. So that's a great sound. Another thing that we can hear is the wind rustling. So as the wind comes down off of the Appalachian Mountains, it flows through all of our trees and it rustles and blows things around. The other thing that I heard just a little while ago, and of course it's not going to sound for me right now, but I heard a nice woodpecker. We had a pileated woodpecker, and those are one of my favorite birds. So listening for some birds and wildlife is always a great way to ground yourself and to relax. My next step is to think of 2 things that I can smell right now. And while we don't have the smell-o-vision hooked up yet, some things that I can smell, which are very different from one another, is the decomposing leaves, the earthiness below me. So the base layer of the the forest is always going to be a decomposing area. So we have leaves and sticks and other things that are decomposing and becoming one with the soil. And the other thing that I can smell is the leaves in bloom. So two things almost in opposite taking place at the same time. So things are decomposing below me, and above me, I can tell and I can smell the earthy growth that takes place in spring. And this breeze is really helping me to get all of those smells at one time. And the final thing that I want to do is one thing that you can taste. And before I share my one thing that you can taste, I want to remind everybody, please don't go out into the woods and just start eating things and putting things into your mouth. It is a very bad idea. You should only ever forage for food or forage for things that you are 100% confident that you know what they are. So one thing that I knew what it was right behind me, actually, this tree right here. This is a gray birch tree. And what I did was I found a little bit of a little small stick, and this birch actually is one of the, many years ago, was what they would use to make birch beer. So this actually has the smell and taste of birch beer in a very faint way. So it's certainly safe and healthy and okay to put in your mouth, but please be smart, be safe, never eat mushrooms, never eat insects or bugs that you don't know what they are, or animals, because you could get really sick. So that is all for our grounding exercise. I hope you feel relaxed and less anxious. Take some time in the woods, be safe, be healthy, and we look forward to seeing you at Fairview Lake and at the Metropolitan YMCA of the Oranges very soon. Have a happy, safe, healthy Kids Day. Be well.